The neuro-affirming is really considering the individual as they are, with their challenges and their strengths, but without thinking of them as something or someone that needs to be fixed, right? So the person is who they are and they function the way they do, and it's good. It's as good as anybody else. There is a tendency to look at the person as, well, they clearly don't function as expected by society, therefore they need to change. They need to put all the effort themselves to change and to manage. But when we think of neuro-affirming practice or thinking, we think quite the opposite. Well, the person, there's nothing wrong with the person, they're fine as they are. Maybe as a society, we need to change some things around so that the person can function a bit better. So it might be that someone, like in classrooms, for instance, there's so many things, so many posters, so many colors and displays everywhere. And a child can feel very overwhelmed by all of that. But instead of telling the child, well, no, you have to manage. So we need to think about things that might help you manage being in the classroom without feeling so distressed or overwhelmed. Well, no, how about we reduce the displays and the bright colors so that that person then is not as impacted by everything around him, right? So that's the thinking around it. It's not changing the person, is all of us making an effort so that the person can manage and can function optimally, right? And so neuro-affirming practice then is thinking about expectations, for instance, right? And it's linked to the person and not changing them. But in the school setting, for example, if we're thinking, or even in therapy, if we're thinking of goals for that individual to achieve, we often see, say Charlotte has to, in the next 6 months, she needs to be able to approach all the children and initiate play or conversation with them at least 60% of the time. And maybe Charlotte or Mary, whoever, they are autistic. And we know that for an autistic child or individual, that's a very hard thing to do most of the time. So then maybe the goal could be phrased differently. So maybe teachers can support Mary's peers to understand her body language and to approach her when she seems or she looks like she's able to manage that interaction. Or teachers need to support Mary into expressing when she feels ready to do so, as often as she needs to. There's no need to put a number to it. So it's just thinking about what the person can manage rather than what we think they should manage.
Find out more about our neuro-affirming assessments and support at familyfutures.co.uk/wellbeing-hub.